The majority of Indigenous prints in the AGGV's collection have been acquired through the generous donations of collectors. In 2018 and 2019, 2 exhibitions were installed, offering new ways to build that area of the collection, and aiming to build stronger relationships with the artists themselves. This work around the AGGV's Indigenous print collection is ongoing, and a project that the gallery intends to expand on over time. This conversation between Curator of Engagement Nicole Stanbridge and Margaret August is a continuation of the important work that began with these 2 exhibitions. It is a way for us to learn directly from Indigenous artists how best to build this area of the AGGV's collection and represent their work, and to further understand the many connections between artists, communities, histories, and the current state of print production in this region.
So like, I did a house post painting. That's the thing I'm coming to mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think there's always, like, in every design, there's always fragments of myself in them.
Right. Yeah.
You know? So I always kind of draw upon my, in terms of storytelling and based on where I'm from and pieces of knowledge that I know that certain animal medicine have. Mm-hmm. So like when I did the house post painting last spring, I believe, it was one of the first house post paintings I've ever done. And I had salmons down the bottom of it halfway through and the painting. And traditionally, like in Salish art, we had house posts. I made a contemporary version on a painting, you know? And when I kind of reflected on myself as a Shíshálh person, I had to really like draw on inside myself the story of Shíshálh. So what would Shíshálh people traditionally, how would they conceptualize based on our origin and region and what we do, you know, and what we eat. And I titled the piece Salmon People because I heard that from somebody that in the community when I was first reintegrating myself after my family's being displaced. So when I was returning on my own terms when I was 18, I learned this through somebody, the story that we're salmon people. And it was a really beautiful memory to bring up. And I had not expected that story to conceptualize itself through this painting, but it came through this painting. Right. And I noticed that amongst the community of Shíshálh that we lost a lot. You know, we lost a lot in terms of our art form. The big one, you know, art, because we lost language, we lost even dances and songs, and it was actually pretty decimated. I didn't even realize until I came back years later that people were singing and there was drum groups and dance group, and there was nothing like that when I first visited, when I first started coming. We lost a lot. So I think like me painting pieces like this, or even when I learned to carve, creating house post designs, it reconceptualizes in today's world our stories, you know. I kind of want to try to remember our old stories just by researching.
It's so interesting that how you describe your process, because it feels very like sincere and natural how it happens, because you're working on a design and everyone's process is so different, right? The intention that you come to work with and you know, again, I think, you know, you mentioned feeling like intimidated or overwhelmed, but like this seems like your natural place to be as an artist, right? And so, and you've just described how much that's meant to you in your life, and how the trajectory it took you on, that this is where you are. And so like that it seems so natural that it comes out of you as a natural process, and then the story kind of emerges in that process.
I do reflect on Susan Point a lot still. I watched a video and I've read a bit of her bio, her book in the Spindle Whirl book when she had the Spindle Whirl exhibition in Vancouver. And I just like, she really, really paved a way for other Salish artists, and not only just Salish artists, but Salish women artists. For some reason, it still pops up. Even Cedar Hill Longhouse Publishing, art publishing, he, the owner of that business, he actually notices on his end that women tend to be the people that buy my work. Because he said to me, and I said the same thing. He asked me, and I was like, yeah. I was like, women are predominantly the ones buying my work.
Yeah.
Because you have a real niche. And I really like think about why is that? I asked him, I was like, why do you think that is? And he says that I'm empowering other women out there in the world. And I never thought that. I can't believe I wouldn't have thought that. Like, it really, I don't know, that inspires me to keep, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And it is inspiring. I mean, there's so much conversation right now about like how much representation matters, you know, seeing somebody doing what you hope you can do, like you see Susan Point and you realize like that's something you could do, right? And so that's the role you're in now, right? Like you're actually in a position to influence and inspire people. So that's awesome.